Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Auto Transport Intel. It is Friday. It is noon. It is time for Cars on the Move. That's where we talk to Ty live in the transport parking lot. He's there right now. And here's what I want you to do because we have a big show today. Actually, Finished Vehicle Logistics North America starts next week. So we have a special guest, Christopher Ludwig. He's live from London. He's going to join us. So if you want to learn more about automotive logistics, finished vehicle logistics, please do grab that link. You can click share, click copy, text that YouTube link, email it, share it on social media, jump in the live chat, ask a question. Hey, what's going on, Cooper Daniels? Carlos Braxton, what's happening? ACB Logistics in the house. Let's go check in with Ty. Let's just go ahead and do that. Ty, can you see me and hear me okay?
Yeah. Hi, Jay. I'm out in
What
the
is going on?
transport parking lot at America's Auto Auction, Kansas City, Missouri. Haven't had a chance. I was busy talking to somebody else, so I don't know how the sale went. But looking at the parking lot, I would say we were pushing 700. You know what? I was thinking about what would be cool is to find out how many buyers were here, physical buyers, how many cars were ran, and how many online buyers. That would be an interesting statistic that I think we could probably get from like a guy like our buddy Paul.
Or
You
and
know what I
I,
mean?
I just was thinking Sky Hallman, right? Maybe, but Paul, Sky, Tim would
Yeah,
be
we
interested in that. What are we putting together a show right here live on Auto
a live
Transport
show.
Intel? Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm excited really today to have Chris on. I always enjoy having Chris because he knows a lot and he knows a lot of people too.
He does.
So
So let's do this. If you're just joining now and you don't have any reference, what are we talking about? What's going on? Okay. So we have friends at Automotive Logistics. We're going to bring up their website in a second. Automotive Logistics, they're based out of London and they do global vehicle supply chain, OEM, tier 1, tier 2, the kind of stuff that makes you feel like, wow, I really don't know what's going on, which is okay. I mean, it's super macro, but it's really good to hear this level of information. We go to their shows when we can. Ty is going to their show Monday in Newport Beach. Ty, so what's going on Monday, Ty?
well, I'm flying out Monday night. I'll be there Tuesday. I'll be available if anybody needs a hand setting up booths and stuff. I'm real good at helping people. But so Tuesday I get to kind of see the exhibit, get a feel for what's going on. Hopefully get somebody everybody lined up for interviews for Wednesday and Thursday because it actually is Wednesday and Thursday. Is
It's
that right?
That's right. And so I was looking at the schedule. So here's what's going to happen. We're going to bring Chris on. We're going to look more at the schedule and the agenda. But I'm thinking we'll go live Wednesday, maybe 3 o'clock Central, and then Thursday, noon Central, live from Newport Beach at the Automotive Logistics Show. But let's bring in Chris. And so let's do this. Put it on the live chat. Bring in Chris from the waiting room. If anybody has a question for Chris, and automotive logistics or in general, right? Why not? So here we go. If you're just joining now, you're in for a treat. We've got Christopher Ludwig from Automotive Logistics. Christopher, how are you doing? Please say hello.
Hello, everyone. Welcome again from here in London. On the way soon back to the US. Looking forward to over the weekend. We'll talk about that soon. But yeah, great to be with you, Jay and Ty. Always love being on the show.
We're super glad to have you here. Thanks for taking the time. Okay, so what starts Monday, or does it start this weekend? Your preparations?
Preparation starts then, but it's actually the event starts Tuesday. What's that, the 9th? It's the Finished Vehicle Logistics North America. This is a return to our dedicated vehicle logistics conference. Certainly, we think it's the most significant outbound vehicle logistics event, in North America. Perspectives from the OEM side, dealer, auction, carriers, cross-modal. So we've got lots of not just the trucking side, but also quite a lot of rail shipping. We've actually got the president of Kansas City Southern speaking, or doing an interview as well, which is many know there's a big merger going on at the moment there. So lots going on. as we talked about, I think just a couple of weeks ago, when ahead of the Detroit conference, there's so much disruption happening in the supply chain right now, and between driver shortages, inventory. I mean, you go to dealer lots across the country, and they're empty. Or you find a lot somewhere which might be full, but it's full with unfinished cars that are missing pieces of stuff. So it's everything is topsy-turvy and struggling, but there's a huge impetus on the vehicle logistics right now to get moving. So we're really excited to be able to bring everybody together. Newport Beach, California. As I said, starting Tuesday with the cocktail reception, and then we've got a couple of days, Wednesday, Thursday, of a great conference. And I think Ty's going to be there as well. So yeah, looking forward to having you guys there too.
So let's do this, because I was looking at the agenda earlier. Okay, so right, Tuesday is the 9th. So starting that night, there is, I guess, there's, so you got golf and there's a reception.
That's right.
And
don't forget about the golf.
You're going to, right, Ty, are you golfing on Tuesday?
I didn't sign up, but I know I can do it. Wow.
All right, cool. So we'll have.
I'm left-handed, but they taught me how to do it. Nobody ever had any left-handed clubs, so I learned how to golf right-handed. They probably don't want me out there. I'm dangerous.
Right, Ty, live from hole number 5. You know, are you?
How do you like that?
Are you going to make this putt? No. Okay. Let me ask you about. Let me ask you about Honda. All right. So day 1, Wednesday. That's the 10th. So here's what I was thinking. I was looking at. Okay, you've got finished vehicle logistics. Pioneers on the New Frontier finished vehicle logistics. Steve Jernigan from Nissan. He speaks in the morning. Capacity Crunch. You got Trent Broberg of Acertus. Sergio Gutierrez of RPM. Do you get a chance to talk to them individually?
Yeah, we'll speak. Do you mean on stage?
Are you hosting that session?
I'm hosting I'm opening and doing a fireside chat with Steve. So we're kicking off the event. Obviously Steve responsible for the vehicle logistics in Nissan. So we'll take a high level look at what's happening right now in the market, how Nissan's responding to some of those disruptions I spoke about earlier, but also kind of looking ahead to get their network ready. One of the things to note is if, sales are kind of on the decline right now, but not because of demand, they're on the decline because supply is too low. So we know as production comes up, there's going to be quite a big push to move vehicles, quite frankly. So, gearing up for that surge and frankly looking out further ahead, whether it's the systems, the IT, hauling more electric vehicles, sustainability, etc. So yeah, we're kicking off there, and then we go right into that next session you talked about, which has Trent, Sergio, as well as Rory Hepner. Rory is a director of vehicle logistics for Mercedes-Benz USA. So she's responsible for all the distribution, vehicle ordering, and logistics, both for U.S. distribution, but also the export from the production in Alabama and a Tuscaloosa plant. So she's a great woman, really interesting, really someone who really values this industry and the drivers as well. I know we'll be talking quite a lot about that during that session too.
And see, there you go. And there you hear why tapping into this level of information and knowledge is, if you're talking to execs at OEMs and learning about what's happening with them, and then they start talking about the importance of the carrier, that's something I've heard on many sessions at Automotive Logistics.
Yeah, and there's a real, I mean, it's a lot more than I think talk. I mean, for a long time, I don't think anyone would have stood up on stage in the past and said the carrier is not important. But the difference is now is, quite frankly, this stuff is hurting their business when they can't get the trucks or the drivers aren't available. So they're really making changes and looking at what they can do to make the job more appealing. Nissan, for example, has a quite an interesting pilot that they've been doing with a couple of carriers where they've rerouted a whole bunch of things to make sure that carriers get home every night, basically. Like there's no route where they don't get home, or at least the great majority of them. And that's the sort of direction, I don't think it's necessarily the 100% of things, but it's much more in that direction. Is how do you make the role of the carrier more appealing, better standard of living and more attractive. Because, we don't have to recite the numbers. I'm sure you talk about them a lot. However many tens of thousands of driver shortages, average ages which are only going up, and the industry just needs more and more. So there's a lot of things being done, and you're hearing it from the OEMs too, directly. Oh, they may not be the ones employing the drivers, but it's their networks which drive the behaviors, which drive how those businesses work. Is the truck full? When are they going? What are the routes that they're running, etc. So it is definitely a big topic, as you say, and it'll come up a lot across the event, and not just on stage. Get on the sidelines where Ty will be running around, and that's where you pick up the real gold, and talk to people and get that. Not from Ty too. Ty gives out the gold.
But we're seeing a lot of articles about driver turnover, the driver issues. There's the top 10. I've seen an article where it was, this is what the carriers think, this is what the drivers think. So to hear an OEM getting in on the conversation, that is wonderful to hear. And so I think it's important to share that information, so that drivers don't feel like they're alone in the problems, that the people are actually listening and talking about how to solve this problem.
And they have to, like I said. I mean, if I didn't check what the latest numbers are, but the last couple of months you've seen U.S. sales drop, sometimes double digits, and as I said, that's not because people don't want a car right now. That's not because the economy is contracting. It's not because of demand. It's a supply issue. One is, of course, the semiconductors, which we know has had a huge impact on production and reduced the supply of vehicles out there. But as some of these OEMs will tell you, sometimes the semiconductor is not even the biggest problem they're facing. I mean, upstream, you have shortages of leather and certain things, so certain accessories you might want, you can't get it, which delays it. But really, really critical is the driver side, and all the labor, I'd say, in the vehicle logistics side. If you got a yard like where a Ty is standing, or you're at one of the ports where you have 50,000 cars, or a distribution center, and you need someone to walk around manually scanning the cars, and now we're getting to the cold weather and all that stuff coming. I mean, it's not necessarily it's not always the most attractive job, and if the weather is horrible, you have a higher absenteeism, much higher turnover. So companies need to look at what they can do to make that better, whether it's, sometimes it's automating certain processes, not to lose those roles, but to kind of make sure they're doing higher value things that they can, because there's so much demand for that too right now. So these topics are, I would say, like directly relevant to the bottom line, top and bottom line in the car makers. If they can't get the car to the dealer, first of all, they need to get a car, and that's in short supply. But when they can get it, they sure as hell have to be able to move it as quick as possible, because it's becoming a competitive advantage, right? If you get it slower than the dealer next to you or the OEM next to you, you're probably going to lose the sale. So it's really critical. And then, as I said, if you've got all these other shortages and costs and stuff like that, that'll hit the bottom line too. So it's definitely on the minds of OEMs, to put it briefly, or not so briefly, as the case.
I'll say this is where, Ty, I was thinking based on what Christopher was just saying. Christopher should tune in for my Tesla blogging updates. You've got, I don't know if you know this, Christopher, but Tesla has a blog forum, and I'm not trying to pick on, it's not easy to be an OEM. That should be a bumper sticker, along with everything else. But Tesla has a blog forum on their own website where people have ordered vehicles, and they're blogging to each other to see if they can figure out what ship it might be on, what month they might get it. And it's kind of bizarre. As someone who works in logistics and talks to carriers, to see that a customer is so passionate about this vehicle they paid all this money for, they're just trying to figure out which month and which ship.
Yeah.
That's odd, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's interesting, and I know you've spoken to her before, but one of the sessions we're going to have during the event on enhancing vehicle logistics services, and Christine Krathwall from Freight Verify.
Right.
It's an interesting company with some really quite switched on technology for tracking and visibility, using a lot of data analytics and doing a lot of things to kind of track your ETAs and see where the car is at any stage. One thing that not to steal the thunder, because I think we'll talk about it at the event, but as a preview, Christine was sharing with me, is they have a version of their software now, which is at the dealer facing side, which, so it's not just the OEM who gets the ETA, but the dealer can directly kind of track their ETA. And the usage of that is surging. It's just, kind of never, to a level of, I can't remember, 10 times the traffic flow, the interactions that had, and they're using it to show their customers, like these bloggers I'm sure that you're referencing.
Well,
so, someone waiting for their car, they say, okay, it's at the factory, it's at a rail yard in Colorado, it's on this and that. In the past, I mean, who, with all due respect to our audience and our professions, my own included, who the hell cares? But they do care because, when do I get it? When do I get it? And people are waiting for it. I mean, the US, you know how, I don't have to tell you, most people have bought cars right off a lot in the past. You walk onto the dealer lot, say, I want the red one with that trim and that boom, and then, drive it off or as soon as you get the papers for it. Well, that's hard today, given where the inventory is. So you're having to buy in the pipeline, so to speak. So the car, which is anywhere from, in transit somewhere, sat in a yard, on a ship, maybe not even built yet. So actually, the customer is more invested in the process and in the logistics process too.
There's a guy somewhere like, can I see my car? And they send him a shot of like a couple wheels on the ground. Well, that's what we got so far. So like what could happen, maybe this is it for Christine. Let Christine know that they need to make a banner ad that they can advertise inside the Tesla blog forum that says, if you're blogging to find out what month and what ship, we have technology to fix that. Just an idea.
And it's a good point. And I think I was speaking to, I think you guys met them. So Tech Mahindra, which is a company, that does a lot of work on the IT side, and they're also involved in visibility and analytics, including vehicle logistics. And they were saying how almost surprised at the level of ignorance from some people in the industry who talk about technology as if it doesn't exist. Oh, if only we could know these things, if only we could know where something is at a given time. And so, well, it's perfectly possible. It takes some investment, it takes coordinating systems and stuff, but it's not a fantasy technology anymore. And I think, that's part of the reason when we do these events as well, is sort of make sure that people are aware of the opportunities which are there. and because OEMs especially, huge companies, huge capital expenditure requirements, and huge legacy assets and systems. It's not that they want to use the 30 or 40-year-old IT system, but it's so difficult to change, and often you're stuck in lots of legacy processes and systems, and the challenge is to adapt those or to get an app that can connect into them, and it's not as easy as downloading it. So, but you need to get people in the room who can kind of understand it and work together on it. And it's exciting when it comes together, though.
And the thing is, so we talked about logistics and technology for quite a bit there, but then when you add, net zero carbon, that conversation, sustainability, or the semi-chip conversation, which is gigantic, huge conversation, or the EV and the battery conversation. I mean, there's so many ways to go with the information. That's why you amaze me at how much you know, how much you can talk about, how many people. I mean, it's amazing.
Very.
What you've got.
My ability to blather and talk has never been in doubt, but I hope.
I think somebody said that in my live chat once.
That's funny. Well, Chris, I had a question that I don't want the answer to, but I do want to think about it for a second. Why do OEMs today advertise their latest vehicle model coming out in a couple months? Why do OEMs or brands makes, why are they advertising new models? And as I started thinking about that, this guy, Tim, I call him Tim Maverick, the Maverick Ford guy. he's a YouTube guy, and he's figured out how to order these Mavericks. And then, so when I think about why is the OEM advertising paying money, right? It's not cheap to put an ad on the Super Bowl or baseball game, whatever, of our new car that we're going to have out next month. But I'm wondering if there's like this conditioning process, because if everybody knows there's really there might be a car, but it's missing parts, like you said, are we being conditioned possibly for this ability to just, oh, it's okay, I'll just wait for it, when it gets here, it gets here?
It's a really interesting question, and yeah, you're right. We're going to talk about it in the event, but just as a kind of preview to that, we have this session with Sarah Nader, who's from General Motors. She's the head of marketing and field operations for Chevrolet, and I think she's responsible for like most of the western half of the country for kind of the marketing and side of that. And she has some really interesting points to share around truth standards in advertising, and when you can say such and such is available or coming, etc. And actually, there's some really important standards you have to adhere to, and it does, in this kind of crisis, let's put it, or the inventory situation we're facing, it plays a role, and when you can say that. So the point you're making, perhaps on conditioning, but is also is they could get caught out if they're saying the wrong thing. So I think you have to be really careful. If it's saying coming soon, and what does soon mean? You have to be more specific. So it's a good question, and something that I look forward to talking about more next week.
Yeah, and then the other thing was always follow the money trail. So I've never bought a car off of a website or OEM, or I've always just walked in, I like that one, take it. But I would assume there's a deposit required. I can't imagine that you have to pay for the vehicle before you get it. Do you know?
So, certainly when we're talking about the kind of, ordering, like some of the newer brands, Lucid, and Tesla things, when you put down reservations, and those reservations tend to be for models almost like brand new things, which, sometimes they don't even know when it's really coming. You put down anywhere from 100 to 1,000, 2,000, probably refundable, but it may not come. With most of the, like an online situation, in the cases where that's sort of happening, most of the time, I think with some exceptions, that's still being coordinated through a dealer, and the financial transaction bit, so whether, if you're leasing or getting loans and stuff, is very much then still kind of arranged via dealer. And so, I don't think you would fully pay anything until you got it, but you kind of do your finance arrangements in that kind of way. This is one of the critical reasons why a shift to kind of wholesale, direct OEM sales is not so easy, because those sorts of processes, it's still important to interact with someone. Maybe OEMs don't have the capacity to centrally do it, and you need a kind of local touch point for it. Even if that itself is happening online, but coordinated through the retails and stuff.
Wow. Well, that's great. I can't wait to be there to get to hear the answer to the question.
Yes. I was thinking that too. That is really cool. I like this teaser stuff, because right now that it's right around the corner, we've been busy with this week and last week, but now as we peer around the corner to next week, wow.
Dude, I'm excited. Those are great teasers. Wow. So cool. Good job.
Yeah. There's a couple of other things. Like I said, I'm those ones you mentioned, I think are great ones. One I think will be fun. We're the Wednesday morning. No, I'm sorry, the Thursday morning. We're having what we call Finished Vehicle Logistics Family Feud.
I saw that. Yeah. What is that?
Well, the one thing you're gonna to give away is you'll see just how poorly Brits understand what Family Feud is. So.
I'll send you my bell. You can use
definitely. Yeah. So don't the resemblance to the actual game show might be waning. But we'll combine something like Price is Right, Wheel of Fortune, and Family Feud all into one. Now, it basically, we're looking to have some fun here, but we're gonna have a kind of quick fire rounds where we kind of flash up innovations and have the contestants speak to or pictures of challenges, how they might address those challenges, what solutions are out there for them. We're going to kind of challenge them to think a bit on the fly and almost compete to share innovations and different things like that. I'm as the host, I get to score, and it'll be very arbitrary, I promise. But I will be.
Great idea, Chris.
Oh man, I love it.
Wow.
That's awesome.
So Ty, you're going to be in the room for that.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Awesome, man.
Yeah, I'll be there screaming in the background, go, yeah, or laughing or clapping or something. I'll do whatever we need to.
Really interesting.
Do that. Yeah.
Well, that's,
it's a great
talk
idea.
about engaging in participation. Wow.
Yeah.
That really engages everybody.
We've played with it in a couple of rounds. My colleague Rich Logan, who really helps to drive so much of the program, really helped to shape a lot of that. We're going to work together. He's going to be my Vanna White if I can mix in another. I know
Perfect. That's awesome, man. That is really a great idea, and I'm glad you said that too, because I wanted to look at the agenda again, because you know what, Ty, if we go live at, well, we'll have to figure out. We need to go live right after Family Feud. Maybe we go live at the tail end of Family Feud.
Yeah, you can hear the winner.
Yeah, we could do that and then spill out into the hallway during this. And by the way, here's another Precision Vehicle Logistics. I'm not familiar with that company. I looked it up. Sounded very interesting. Do you know what they do in a nutshell?
Is that
bonus
to
question? Yeah.
I advise. I mean, definitely they've got some good tech and I think, but yeah, check them out on the website. You can get more on there, and it's one of the reasons to come, because there's lots of companies to discover. Whether it's carriers with capacity and great equipment, or the kind of tech providers like that. Lots of Certus and another great kind of brokering company. So lots of great partners there.
In fact, I just noticed, I think, okay, so Charmaine at Accelerate. Charmaine? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so she's hosting Ideas Lab 3, Who Wants to Be a Car Hauler?
That's right.
That's pretty interesting.
Oh, I got to be at that one, Jay.
Exactly. So
I want
that's
to be
it.
a car hauler.
Ideas Lab 3, that's on Wednesday.
Yeah.
At 2 Pacific time.
That's right.
So we'll learn more about that when we catch up with you Thursday.
Yeah, I think Shaman's going to pull in some. There'll be a bunch of games going on, right? So I think there's also a game element to that one too. Yeah. So look, trying to have a lot of fun with this, as well as kind of bringing the information, bringing people together. That's part of getting people together, and especially at a challenging time, and take them out of the day to day, have a little bit of fun, but learn stuff along the way.
Thinking outside the box. That's Automotive Logistics, man. We really appreciate you guys. And Christopher, we appreciate your time, taking the time to join us. We know you've got to go, so thank you so much.
Yeah, I do. I'm I know it sounds a cliche for someone here in the UK, but I'm going to see Sir Paul McCartney, so I've got to actually go catch up with Sir Paul.
That's amazing.
And fly out to California. I'm not even making it up. So I've
I know. And you're going to say hello for me. That's great.
I will indeed, on behalf of the audience here.
That is so cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, maybe you can drive my car. Maybe you can drive my car hauler.
Right on. Dude.
There we go. Do it.
So super cool. That'll be great. Enjoy that.
Thanks a lot, guys. Hey, cool. I'll see you next week, Ty, and see you online, Jay, and thanks everyone for having me.
Thanks
a lot, Christopher.
Yes.
We'll see you.
All right. Cheers. All right, and I'll let him go. So, Ty, we'll take a few minutes. We'll wrap it up. Mic check 1, 2, 3. You guys can hear us okay. That was Christopher Ludwig of Automotive Logistics. Automotive Logistics puts on the finished vehicle logistics. Those are the big shows. And actually, you can go back. Me and Christopher were talking about this before the show. You can go back and you can see past shows where finished vehicle logistics. I mean, this is high-end global media in OEMs and other types of supply chain, vehicle, etc. Go ahead and you go crazy with knowledge at Automotive Logistics.
Well, not just now. I mean, I'm really excited. I'm glad we did all those teasers because I didn't know about them.
Right? I know. That's what's so crazy is we're so busy. I mean, I've spent the last several weeks ramping up to the ACV show. I'm putting together Tuesday night show. I've been working on. Look at this. I just did this yesterday. Here's the new graphic for. Let's see. Where is it here? This is the new graphic for next week. Finished Vehicle Logistics live in Newport Beach. So I mean, I'm so busy working on stuff. I hadn't really had time to go through the agenda either. So that was exciting.
Yeah. And they're talking about stuff that we're already talking about.
I know.
How's
exactly.
the wind?
Oh, it's been really good. Actually, I'll tell you what, that microphone is blowing my mind. I haven't even thought about the sound.
Right now, just so you know, it is windy right now. Where I'm at.
Wow.
Windy.
We finally got the microphone that works. It's so cool. And you guys in the live chat, don't take cheap freight. That's right. I third that.
I'll do the cheap freight.
Don't take cheap freight. Let's see. Oh, by the way, Tuesday night, check this out. You know what we're going to do Tuesday night? This is cool.
We're ramping up used car week, right? Or something like that?
We're going to be getting ready for used car week. Tuesday night, let me see if I can find the graphic for this real quick. Tuesday night, we're going to do used car week energy. Oh, wait, that's the graphic for the... Oh, that's the graphic for the live, when we go live at used car week. Here, let me bring up used car week energy. We're going to do a show of all exhibitors at used car week. We've already got several people lined up. We got Jose from Location Services. We haven't talked to him in a few months. Black Widow's going to take a seat. ACV, I think, might take a seat. We've got, I think Becky's going to join us from Cars Recon.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I mean, we got Pre-Owned Auto Logistics is going to take a seat. John Robertson, Ship Your Car Now, is going to be there. Yeah, it's going to...
Whoa.
I know. That's Tuesday night. I'm still putting the show together. But yeah,
Man.
I mean, we stay busy, dude.
Yeah, we do. We stay busy. That's good. Well, I still keep getting calls from people that are trying to figure it out. Keep getting calls, random calls, dealers, guys that want to be a carrier. We're making progress, I feel, and educating the community is important.
Yes. In fact,
and
I want to do this. Speaking of the education, I want to share this. Here, this question came in. I have a friend who's selling leads to car dealership companies. These leads have very high quality with more than 11% sales conversion rate. Now, for some reason, it is very hard to convince dealers that this is the truth. They usually decline my offer. What do you think of this dealer leads thing?
I talked to that guy. That's Michael. He's in Austin, Texas.
Okay.
He is a carrier, a broker, and then this, whatever you call this. Nice guy, by the way. And he, you know what? We probably talked for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 2 times total. But you know what? The last thing this guy said, he said, because he kept saying, I know how these calls go. He kept saying, I know you're going to ask for money. I'm like, hey, buddy, you need to drop that. You've said it twice. We're not asking for money. There's no monthly reoccurring subscription fee. We're here to help educate this community. And I think people are so used to getting burnt and scams that, so once we got over the fact that we're not here to try to rope him into some kind of monthly reoccurring charge, he says, I've watched not all of your shows by any means, but the ones I've watched have been amazing, incredible. I've learned so much. I can't believe you guys aren't out here trying to tell people they're going to get rich. I can't believe you guys aren't out here trying to take my money. This is amazing. And it really made me feel good. I didn't tell you that. I'm sorry.
Because there's not enough time in the day. That is an awesome story, man.
Yeah. So it goes back to, back to the question. We do this, dealers say go away. Well, we got to know who our customer is. That's what you'll hear me say all the time. Whether it's mowing yards, cleaning bathrooms, hauling cars, selling cars. Who's your customer? And the more we got to talking, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, different approach, right? It's the relationship approach. And with this especially. I mean, these guys are trying, they've found a way to, I think it was 11% guarantee to sell cars?
I think so, something like that.
Yeah, it was something crazy. And so the point is it's relational. It's going to be really hard to break in with that, but you can do it. It just has to be relationship, and it'll work. But go talk to the car dealer. Go ask him, how are sales? What are you using right now? You know, find out what works, what doesn't.
And that you know, you could, if you don't like, let's say you don't like car dealer, right? We know, because we've seen it in the live chat. I don't want to talk to car dealers, this and that. Then go up to the whiteboard, erase car dealer, put blank, and whoever that is, that's your relationship you need to build with. Whether it's the broker, whether it's the driver, whether it's the dealer or the auction rep. I didn't even tell you, I had an amazing conversation with Caitlin Shirk yesterday.
Oh,
She's
wow.
good, man. We're going to be putting an amazing show together in January.
Oh,
Dude, there's
good,
a million
good.
things going on.
She's Black Widow made another post with her today. You know, she's really become
I know.
Accelerate Group. I want to say that. I want to say Black Widow. I want to say Accelerate Group.
Yes.
And I want to say Caitlin Shirk, Columbus Fair Auto Auction. I'm telling. I know it's because I follow. I know there's an algorithm, so I know I'm always seeing all their posts. But man, they are putting some serious effort into going and talking to car dealers and making it known on social media.
I know, and it's cool.
Wow.
And that's where, like, I mean, with all the stuff we're talking about, I imagine, I'll go to camera one. If you just tuned in and you're like, what is this channel? I mean, yeah, my head is spinning half the time because there is so much going on. And sometimes people say, like, why are you, how are you? And the thing is that I can't answer all those questions in you know, scientifically, but I know we're on to something. And the amount of people now that are like, saying, like that guy Michael, you guys are onto something. Thank you. We've known that for years. But it's good to hear. It's good to hear. It is very good to hear, yes.
But so the conferences, again, you know, like, guys, I don't have time or money to go to these things. Fine, don't. That's why we're here, right? I mean, at some point, you got to talk to people, all right? I mean, I know there's load boards. I know there's different things that work, maybe, kind of, sometimes. But at the end, I'm still a fan, huge fan. You're going to have to talk to somebody, right?
Even if it's the broker, to get the load on the load board, you're going to have to talk to somebody. That is so funny. You're going to have to talk to somebody. Hashtag, you're going to have to talk to somebody.
Hashtag. That's it. I'm doing it. Well, listen, I'm freezing and it's windy,
right,
and
cool.
I think we're good, and we've talked enough.
We are. So
next week's going to be busy. We're going to have a lot of information. I'm going to be rolling, and I've done this. We did this in San Antonio and Detroit, and it's a lot of work. I just want everybody to know.
Oh yeah. Honestly, I'm glad that I get to stay here for California. Just because right after that, then we got used car week. Man, that's going to be busy. So you got a busy November. Go. You're definitely earning your stripes. And we appreciate that, Ty. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Have a great weekend.
Okay, man. Take care. See you, buddy.
Bye.
Okay, bye. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in to Auto Transport Intel Cars on the Move. Please do join us on Tuesday night for Used Car Week Energy. Yes, we keep talking about trade shows. There's a reason. We keep broadening our network. So do that. Join us. Say hello in the live chat. Hashtag, you're going to have to talk to somebody. Have a great weekend. Take care.